Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. And now, the big sad, yet again. War is hell, and honestly, I love this show. It basically is just beyond anything I ever thought it would be, but damn, does it really, drag you into the pits of just feeling bad for this conflict. Hasn't really happened, but because the characters are so good, the world is amazing, the conflict in it is just, there's so much good about this show. And it saddens me that, it's just the characters, no matter what they do, just can't escape being what they were bred to be. Fighters, warriors. Mm-hmm. I really hope eventually they're free to choose the light. Well, they're already free to choose what they want to do, and they're choosing to do it right now because there's still a war to fight. But I worry that after the war is over, that they won't be able to adapt to regular, everyday civilian. Well,
my theory,
at least Shin. I don't think Shin will be able to.
My theory right now that even once the war against the drones is over, I think there's another coming war between the Albans and is it Giad?
Yeah, the Giad Federacy.
Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to have some shit to say about what they did to the 86, and they're probably going to end up attacking them over it.
And the quick route would be literally to say to the Albanese, be like, hey, tell you what, seeing as how you don't want to have them anymore, the 86, we'll take them in.
Yeah, one thing is taking in 5 people is one thing, but how many 86 would that be that they're just suddenly
hundreds of thousands, if not
harboring,
millions? Which, again, that's the thing with the Giad Federacy. They seem to be a lot more open to do that, though. And
just can they?
I think that they should be able to, because you look at how they are able to support their current populace. They're able to have festivals, they're able to have storefronts and everything else.
But would it be the same if they brought that many extra people in?
I would say if they built another city or an expansion onto their civilization, I think maybe they could do that and open it up to where everyone can move there if they want to, but they're expanding it just so that the 86 have a place to stay for now. And again, it's not it won't be like a concentration camp or anything like that. It won't be like a work camp. Instead, it will be literally a new place for them to live with the same amenities, the same everything. They're able to travel freely, own property. They're able to do everything that the rest of the occupants of the Giad Federacy are able to do. It's just, this new expansion is there to alleviate the living quarters situation.
I'm thinking whenever they hear what the Albans plan to do to the 86 once the drone war is over,
the basic extinction of the 86.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a war over that.
I wouldn't doubt it. And if Shin and them come back and fight against the Albanese, and the Albanese are using her as basically a bargaining chip, because they're not above that, or they're not below that. They're not below using they are not afraid to stoop to the level of using one of their own citizens as basically a hostage.
Well, luckily she's making allies within the country as well, so hopefully there'll be enough people that
support her.
Yeah, basically are just fuck y'all, we like her,
Imagine if she makes it out, I imagine a scenario that could go if she decides to defect and wants to leave. They'll do everything they can to try and keep her in, and the people that she's built up around her are all either going to get imprisoned or they're going to die. Either way, I don't know what's going to happen. This show has done a great job of defying expectations, and it's telling a compelling story that I am very interested in. I want to keep going with it. So let's go ahead and...
I actually looked up today, and I'm a bit sad to see that there's not a lot of this left right now, too.
Well...
We're approaching the end slowly.
For now, there isn't.
Quite right at the end, but There's not a crap ton left.
But from what I understand, they are preparing to do another season of this.
I was looking it up, and apparently there's zero confirmation of a season 2 so far.
Ah, damn.
Yeah. But this one actually just finished airing in March this year, too, so that's not that big of a deal yet.
Usually if you don't hear anything within a year, it's time to worry.
There might be a problem, but it's only been done airing for a few months now.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll see. Hopefully they'll announce something in the fall or in wintertime, and it'll come out next year. Anyway, this is 86, episode number 15. Welcome back. Just... Hey!
おとなしく正規機構部隊にいや楽できたでしょうに。
ここの方が気楽だ。
無様な指揮で俺たちを殺さなきゃ言うことはないんですが。
Uh-oh.
着替えてから出てこい。
キリ、髪をすいてたもの。あ、昨日も大変だったよ。
She yeeted her down the hallway.
Shin's new favorite sport is child tossing.
形式ですので、こちらの書類にサインを。
Always with the signing stuff.
それじゃあ明日からは寝ぼけて半裸でうろつかないようにしないとな。
実はさ。
言わんでよい。
That's cool looking.
気に入ってもらえて。
評価報告はパラレードのそれと合わせ。
同系統のフェルトレスを買ったあなたたちの。
あなたが作った方のジャガーノートについてでしたら。
レギンレイブよ。
ジャガーノート。
レギンレイブだってば。
ジャガーノート。
Oh, for God's sake, child.
Soccer, football.
Tomato, tomato.
It's like, who the fuck cares? Just
yeah,
go.
Exactly.
共和国のジャガーノートよりは多少上等なアルミの棺桶です。
Damn.
本当に？
足が速いのはありがたいですし、速度の割に精度が強くて小回りも効きます。
そう、なぜかしらね。褒められてる気がしないわ。実際シンくん褒めてないわよね。ノロマのバナルガンドのせいで、もっと足の速いフェルドレスがあればって何度も思ったわ。次の回収ではもうちょっとマシな意見を言わせてみせるから期待していて。
構成の規模は
現行勢力で十分に迎撃できる程度と予測されているわ。そういえばあなたからも上心が上がっていたわね。やはり少尉の予測した敵の数は高等無形だわ。統合分析室の予測を大幅に超えている。連邦は共和国とは違う。情報収集も分析も従前にしているし、なすべき備えもきちんとしている。
I'm sure you think that.
Oh boy.
いい加減その足音を立てずに歩く癖を改めるか。すまなんだの、そのキリ。
ああ、そんなに似てるのか。
我が騎士キリアノーゼンはその他と同じノーゼン一族のものじゃ。大人ばかりの要塞の中でキリアだけが遊び相手だった。やれ人と話をするときは書物から目を上げろ。やれ規律と軍令はきちんと守れとやいのやいの言うて。その他はどうせ全部無視するのじゃろうから、それにまた怒って。我がギアーデ帝国はレギオンを用いて周辺諸国に戦争を仕掛けた。しかしその直後、市民たちの放棄により我々王室は辺境の要塞へと追われた。そしてキリアもわらわを守るため戦わざるを得なくなった。連邦軍の兵士たちを殺し続けたキリアはそのうちにおかしくなっていった。おそらくキリアはなくしすぎたのであろう。わらわたちは連邦軍に捕まった。同じ戦場にエルンストが激励に来ていたのは全く幸運じゃった。おかげでわらわの死の証として吊るし上げられたのは着ていた皇帝のマントだけで済んだのじゃから。キリアはそれを見てしまっていた。辺りをレギオンが戦闘に再利用可能なあらゆるものを探して這いずり回っておった。キリアは立ち尽くしたまま逃げなんだ。知り合うた者が死ぬのはわらわは嫌じゃ。キリを救うために そなたやライデンたちが犠牲になるでは割に合わぬ。それを失わせてはならぬ。
先か。
やはり考えておらなんだな。何がおかしい。
いや、いつか同じようなことを聞かれた気がする。
それで何と答えたのじゃ。
考えたこともないと。
なんと味気ない。そなたはここまで寒々。
慕われてんなお兄ちゃん。
重ねてるだけだろ。
ああ、九段の騎士にか。
同じだから、昔の俺と。
どうだかな。上申なんか出してたんだな。
伝えるだけは一応伝えておこうと思っただけだ。
お前のその力については黙ってろって。人の脳みそ取り出したがんのは何もレギオンだけじゃねえんだ。お前がモルモットになるのは勝手だが、とばっちりで人質にされるのは俺はごめんだ。お前大丈夫か。
何が。
余計なこと考えてんじゃねえのかって言ってんだよ。
先のことか。
あ
フレデリカにはむしろ考えろと言われたけど。
あ、なんとかなるだろうとは思うけどな。レギオンとやり合うよりは難しいことじゃねえだろうよ。調査は元気でやってんのかね。
Yeah, I think he's keeping that in, but he's like, you're not thinking about anything you shouldn't be, are you? And like, I think what probably he was immediately coming to mind was that he's thinking about Lena.
Yeah, well, I mean, you develop a relationship with someone like that, it's very difficult to forget about them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if, you know...
I think he may have for just a little while, because he just had the sensory overload of being outside what he was used to for a bit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
The sensory overload of a new place, but whenever she just reminded him of her, you know, like, I think he's going to be having trouble getting her back out of his head again now.
Yeah, it could be. That could be the case. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe next episode we'll catch up on Lena and what she's been up to in the interim. I mean, because that's what
he's also a very logical person, and it could be easy for me to see him just kind of being like, well, it's pointless for me to think about her because I'll probably never meet her again, like never see her again, you know.
Well,
but at the same time, like, you never know what the future holds.
Even the most logical person is still human, and is still prone to dwell and dawdle on things that they can't help but think about. Because here's the thing, there's stuff that I think about that I can't get out of my head to save my life. There's stuff that, for instance, there's a girl that I've told you about multiple times, and I've told you about how I felt about her, and I just wonder, you know, what if I would have acted, you know, more directly, if I would have been more forward about how I felt about her. Would her father have eventually accepted me, or, you know, that shit still haunts me to this day, dude, and it's been over 10 years. It's been, 11 years since I've seen her, and again, I
always think of, like, what if I had done things differently, and the answer that I've started to discover is it usually doesn't matter, because other people just do the things they do for whatever reasons they have, and they'll probably find a reason to do them despite whatever you did, and if they're not in your life anymore, it's their decision, and it wasn't meant to be.
Well, again, and then we also, as humans, have self-destructive tendencies. Shin exhibit, like, for instance, Shin, being the most logical person, exhibited this, you know, willingness to make dumb decisions, especially when it came to wanting to try and protect all that was left of Spearhead at the end of the end of the first half of this season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he was also wanting to take out his brother as well. So.
Well, no, that was before the time where they all almost died.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That point right there.
I mean, that was logical to him, though. That was even logical to me to an extent, because you would call it a non-logical position for him to get in the pilot seat whenever they had agreed on something previously, but in my opinion, it was the logical decision because he's the best pilot out of all of them, and it was his mech, and they even said, like, you know, he tunes the controls so loose that it's scary and shit like that. So out of everyone there that had the chance to use the mech to the greatest it could have been used to protect them, it was him. So I saw his decision as pretty logical. They obviously got mad at him for it, but I think that I would have done the same thing if I was in his shoes. You think he made the best choice? Yeah.
And I
don't blame him at all for it.
I would say that, but again, the logical position again just doesn't 100% make it right. It doesn't make it right that he did that, especially to his friends. His friends kind of hated him for making that decision for them, and I can see why they would be so upset. But again, they're all alive, so I guess all's well that ends well. Well, they're alive for now, I should say. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it for now, everybody. This was 86, episode number 15. Welcome back. We hope that you all enjoyed, and we hope...
If the edit for this episode, by the way, ends up being kind of short on YouTube, I apologize, but it was a very exposition-heavy episode.
Yes.
So this might feel a little shorter in terms of what shows up on YouTube than the others when I edit this, because...
That's how it has to be.
I will get the gist, and I will get when we had reactions, but there were a lot of parts where we just kind of had to listen. So. Well,
yeah, and I... Again, if that's how it has to be, that's how it is.
If you're even still here to listen to me say that.
All right.
If you are still here and you hear me say that and you see anybody complain in the comment section, feel free to tell them what I said here.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank y'all very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.